Hello tubers, Mezcal here. This is going to be a very different upload for me. We're looking at the International Space Station live feed that is on NASA's official YouTube page. So here we are above the Earth. There's some spacesuit flaps or something. Looks like a tool bag coming into view there. And I noticed a few things while I was watching this, so just bear with me while we go through the video, and I'll talk about what we're looking at, and we'll do some comparison for timestamps and things. So coming up on the Earth there, right in the center of the screen, you can see a circle in the cloud. Now what on earth is that? Literally, what on earth is a circle in the clouds? That'd be fairly large. Is it some sort of... It's not a tornado. I don't know. You tell me what you think it is. But at any point, that is a reference point for what happens. And coming up in the next clip, I'll show you that the same thing cropped up again. So it's about to leave screen now, and the next clip's about to load, and you might think I've just zoomed in, but no, this is actually 2 days later. So we've got the same spinning tool bag, we've got the same glove comes into the top of the screen. It is the same footage. It's not similar footage, it is the same footage. Now, just to prove that these things were taken 2 days apart, we're going to look at my editor now. So we're in the editing program, and I'm going to pull up what is the timestamp for each capture. So basically, we locate it on the computer and then look at the properties, and it tells us when that image or that screen capture was caught. So here we are looking at that, and you can see the date there, talking the 15th. All well and good. Now we'll go and check the timestamp for the next one. So locate on computer. And here we are looking at the 17th, so 2 days later, the exact same footage. Remember, this is supposedly live. Clearly it's not, because they're recycling the same stuff 2 days later. But another interesting anomaly came up about that. So stay tuned for me talking about how long it takes the ISS to go around the planet, and how long it actually took me to watch the live feed and see that ring in the clouds come up again. Here's an image of a spaceman, a Lego spaceman, white Lego spaceman. He hasn't got his visor down. Now I thought there was a lot of radiation up there, and having your visor open would be extremely dangerous. But time and again we see visors open. Also, anytime the glove touches the gloves come to the camera, there seems to be a jump cut. Now, if this was live, why are there jump cuts? Now on this next bit, we're looking at, I guess, the sun peeking through a crack. Now why there's a crack like that? I thought this thing would be like a solid piece, but I guess we're just looking through the framework or something. I thought that was kind of weird, but not nearly as weird as some of the other things we see on this video. So we'll move on from that. But there's another jump cut coming up. If you didn't really notice it, the place where Lego Spaceman is looking at the with his open visor, there's a jump cut there if you want to go back and look at that. But here we go, jump cut. Bam. Just play that again. There it is. That's a jump cut. Not live. But at any rate, we'll just move on from that, and we'll keep looking at parts of the station. Some interesting things to look at on this movement. But if you just go back from there, you'll see fingerprints on that dusty thing. I'm not sure why there's fingerprints there, but anyway, here's another Lego spaceman. Hello. He's looking at the camera. He's got his visor down. He's touching the camera. Jump cut. If you missed it, here it is again. Jump cut. One more time for the dummies. Jump cut. And at this point I was starting to wonder, where's the stars? It's not a lot of brightness there. I would expect at least one star to be visible. And further on in the video, we do see one star. So one star amongst many that aren't visible. It's quite remarkable that there's any star, given that nothing else shows. And I've heard that the reason for this would be, it's too bright for the camera to see them. We're about to get another jump cut here. He's touching the camera and he pulls away and bam, there it is. Oh, visor's open. Hello? Didn't see him open the visor, but anyway, just in case you missed it. And have a look in the reflection of his visor. What is that in the emptiness of space there? Some sort of framework? Is that like a truss for holding a lighting rig? I'm starting to think this has all been faked. At any rate, let's move on. What is this thing? Is this a Dalek plugged into the space station? I'm joking, but it looks pretty damn bodgy, all these wires coming in and out. This thing's supposed to be exposed to the elements of space, and it just looks like there's wires and crap everywhere. Pretty weird for someone who's got so much money to spend. So we'll keep watching. Coming up next, visor open. Not at all concerned about the radiation. He's touching the camera, so we're about to get a jump cut. But if you look closely, there's the one star I was talking about. It's also visible in the mirror on his arm there. That is a mirror for them to, I guess, see behind them. Touching the camera, about to be jump cut. There's jump cut. That was a completely different background, so I don't know what's going on there. There's a strange looking handle on whatever that thing is there, and I noticed on another video I watched that somebody said there's faces of people that aren't in spacesuits appearing in that little, whatever that reflection is on the top left corner there. So have a look at that, pay attention to that while we look. I do see some funny looking things there, but I'm not going to focus on that. I'm more focused on the jump cuts and the timeline, because as I don't know if I mentioned already, but it's supposed to be 92 minutes to go around the Earth. And something curious happened while I was watching this feed. I'm not going to say live feed anymore because clearly it's not. So, what happens next? I've basically edited up this material and I'm voice-overing, so a bit of a different experience for me to make video this way, so I'm sorry if it comes off a bit disjointed and the audio is probably sounding crap because I'm using a small microphone. So you can see in that reflection there's a couple of LED lights or something. It's probably the lights off a helmet. And moving right along, that sort of winks out, winks in a few times. You might be able to make out more than I can there, but in any case, we're not really concerned about what weird reflections are in there. We're more concerned about the jump cuts and the timeline. I did back up on that for you just so you can see what pans by in that reflection. I don't know what that is. If anyone knows what that device is supposed to be, please drop a comment. I don't think it's a screen, and it's certainly not a window because it's not big enough to fit a person in there. So here we are. There's a bit more something to be seen in that little reflection. I'll leave it for you to decide what you think that is. It seems like they play tricks with putting things in front of the lens before they change things. It's kind of like a magic trick, a misdirection. So here this thing is being brought up in front of the thing, and you saw the dimness of the lighting situation, and this will just sort of swing on by, and when it moves away we will have really, really bright light. Here's Mr. Spaceman doing jump cuts with his visor thing again. And why do we never see the visor put down or put up? Is there something they're hiding? Can you actually do it while your helmet's on? In any case, there's the sun. First time we've ever seen the sun throughout this feed. And, or is it? Okay, yeah. That seems consistent with the shadows. The panels are pointing at it. That doesn't seem too weird. So what else are we looking at? Well, that thing, whatever it is, rotates around. It seems like they spend a lot of time out there looking at that because there seems to be a lot of footage from this view. I thought, EVAs were limited to, not being outside for longer than you need to be because of the radiation. But clearly, helmet's open. It's not a problem. Okay, so what do we got coming up next? Incidentally, that dish must be some sort of radar dish because there's no need for it to rotate like that if it's trying to point at a station. Maybe it's just there to look pretty. I always put dishes on my space stations when I was playing Lego. Got to have a dish. Okay, so yeah, panels pointing at the sun. Sun seems to be in the right place. Shadows are all right. We've got a specular shine on the Earth globe down there that, which I've heard is something that they add on to make it look more authentic in composite pictures, because a lot of the blue marble images you see are actually a composite image. But I would have thought that given that the sun is so far back, that wouldn't show in the position that it is. But anyway, I digress. Now we've also got some up near the mouse. You can see that green and blue colour. Now, light from the sun is a full spectrum. I would expect it to be a rainbow, not a green and a blue, which is indicating that the light source is containing proportions of green and blue in that spectrum. And you should be able to work out from that what kind of lamp source it is. Now, here we are again. This capture here is the capture that was on the same day, so we're talking the 15th. So this was the first time that I was watching the video long enough to see that weird circle on the clouds come around. So according to the timeline, we've gone around the world once. So as I said, if you Google it, 92 minutes to go around the globe. We're just in the editor again. We're going to pull up the timestamp for the first capture and the second capture, and compare what start and finish time. So that'll give us an idea of how long I'd been watching the feed before I saw us go around the world once. So we're locating on the computer the file, and we'll pull up the timestamp from the properties, and here you can see 11:48, close enough to 11:50. It's a pretty short capture. You can see we only ran for like 4 minutes. So now we'll check the timestamp for the first capture when I initially saw that circle on the clouds, and pull up the timestamp. You can see that's the right file. Yes, locate. Properties. 10:58. So 10:48. We're what? An hour apart. So somehow we went around the Earth in 60 minutes, not 92. So there's a glitch in the system there. That's, I don't know. Do they think that people don't have attention spans, or that people don't check facts? Because that one just fell over right royally. Now there's the star again. This is 2 days later, the same feed, the same star in his little window, his little mirror, his reversing mirror. Rear view. Oh, jump cut. But anyway, we've been here on the previous one 2 days ago, so there's nothing special about this. It's just we're going over the same old ground. So I think it's very curious. Why would you call it a live feed and actually stream it live and put all these mistakes in there? There's not much to see here. I don't know what why I had that screen grab. What's up next? Now, just for interest's sake, talking about the colour spectrum of that lamp or light source that we're seeing there, I've had a bit of a play with spectrometers and measuring the wavelengths of light coming off different light sources, and I would suggest that green and blue would be Mercury Vapour. It's certainly not full spectrum rainbow from the sun. I'm going to leave this video here. You know, there's enough there to get you asking questions. Certainly, it's piqued my interest. I hope you found that interesting. So yeah, look with scrutiny at this, and you'll find mistakes. Something's not right. A lot of people say that they faked the moon landing. A lot of people say they're faking this. We're not talking about flat Earth here. We're just looking at mistakes. I'm sure this will attract a lot of flat Earth comments, but let's just focus on the details, things that are wrong, things that we can prove. Thanks for watching. Drop a comment.